In this section, we'll be dealing with proportions and percents. Suppose you have the question, 12 is what percent of 80? We've gone over one way to do a question like this, but here's another method. So there are several ways to do this question, and one of the simplest is to write a proportion. The proportion you set up would be part over whole is equal to percent over 100. So for example here, when we're asked 12 is what percent of 80, the part is 12, the whole is 80. So you would set up the proportion 12 over 80 is equal to x over 100. Once you solve for x, you get that x equals 15, and so 12 is 15% of 80. Let's take a look at these simple examples. So the first one asks what percent of 36 is 27? In this case, the part is 27, the whole is 36. So the equation we set up is 27 over 36 is equal to x over 100. Once again, it's key to know which one's the part, which one's the whole. After that, it's very simple to set up the proportion, and we get that x is equal to 75 once you do the algebra. So what 75% of 36 is 27. The next question is, what is 300% of 74? Here the part is x. We don't know what the part out of the whole is. We do know that the whole is 74. So the proportion we set up is x over 74 is equal to 300 over 100. And when we solve the algebra, we get that x is equal to 222. So 300% of 74 is 222. In this case, the part is bigger than the whole. This happens when you're taking more than 100% of something. And finally, we're told that 2% of what is 70. The part is 70, the whole is the unknown here. So we set up the proportion 70 over x is equal to 2 over 100. Once we solve, we get that 3500 is x. That means that 2% of 3500 is 70. Here the whole is 3500, the part is 70. So 70 parts out of 3500 is the same as 2%. Let's take a look at a word problem. In the last census, there were 300 million Americans. If 40 million of those Americans speak Spanish, what percent of Americans speak Spanish? Here the part is 40 million. There's 40 million Americans that speak Spanish. The whole is 300 million. There were a total of 300 million Americans. So the proportion we set up is 40 over 300 is equal to x over 100. We multiply both sides by 100 to get 40 times 100 divided by 300 is equal to x. We cross out the zeros on the top and on the bottom, and we get x is equal to 40 over 3%, or 40/3 percent, about 13.3333, endlessly repeating. So the answer here is 40 over 3%.